Thanks, folks. As with the beginning of countless classic romantic comedies, Jessica and I realized from the start that ours was not a match made in romantic partner heaven. She had a prestigious, high-paying job. I was a struggling writer constantly scrambling for work. She lived in a beautiful home in the hills with a swimming pool and luxury car. I drove a used Ford Taurus and got a break on my humble apartment's rent by doing assorted managerial tasks for the owner. Her knowledge of French champagnes and wines was second only to mine of the varieties of chips at Trader Joe's. While she loved having deep discussions about weighty topics, theater, opera, sharing innermost thoughts and feelings, I was more into popular culture and keeping things light, comedic, and on the surface. Jessica proposed that since we were so different, and obviously not one another's soulmates, but liked each other nonetheless, why not love the one we're with? Date each other regularly while we continued searching for our closer matches. And as soon as one of us met someone where intimacy was about to occur, we'd inform the other so as to end our arrangement. Regular romance while looking for one soulmate? Suggested by the woman in the relationship? Where do I sign? As the months passed, neither of us ever brought up the initial agreement, nor did we refer to meeting or dating others. Our agreement just bided its time in the back of our minds. We both realized that ours was no doubt a temporary arrangement. After all, that's what we agreed it would be. The only unknowns were how long we would last together and which of us would end it. There was also the matter of vacations and holidays. Jessica owned a home in Santa Barbara where she'd lived previously and where she had friends. She looked forward to going there on her holiday breaks from work, and I thought it unusual that she never asked me to join her on those trips. I felt a little abandoned, and I consoled myself with the take on it that this was just her way of reinforcing that I was not the one. Or perhaps she had another romantic interest there. In any case, that only made me redouble my efforts to find someone who was a better match, who was emotional, passionate, and would want to be together on holiday trips, who, unlike Jessica, would actually get up from the sofa to see me to the door whenever I was leaving, rather than simply calling out, "Have a good day," from the sofa as she read the Sunday papers. About 9 months into my relationship with Jessica, I found such a person in Sarah, who, among other wonderful qualities, laughed out loud and frequently at my jokes, which of course is catnip for any comedy writer. While my relationship with Jessica was pleasant, secure, and affectionate, the one with Sarah awakened my heart and energized my soul. There was real connection and real heat, and I needed and craved those things as if they were air and water and sun and chocolate. I envisioned informing Jessica about Sarah, and Jessica responding, "Oh, thank God, that makes it that much easier for me to let you know about my relationship with Don in Santa Barbara." What I never anticipated was Jessica's response when I told her. Tears. Finally, some passion, though I would have preferred the traditional sort. As our discussion progressed, I was stunned to discover that Jessica did not want me to leave. She was not dating anyone, nor had she even been looking to date anyone while we were together. Apparently, she had grown to love me and wanted me to stay. I reminded her of our agreement, which was the whole initial reason for us both having agreed to the dating arrangement, which I added was her suggestion in the first place. And then Jessica surprised me again by sweetening the deal. She told me she had visions of us living together as a couple, traveling the world. She'd pay for everything and support my writing career. I could just stay home and write without having to worry about bills or a day job. Oh man, one woman tempts me with passion and laughter, the other with lifelong financial security and international travel. Isn't there some mad scientist who could breed them together? Create one woman who had it all, a financially secure, passionate, emotional laugher? I felt like I was living that old Mary McGregor song, "Torn Between Two Lovers." It was two extremely appealing offers. I had to make a choice. This was an important, life-changing decision and would take some careful thought. It was my Sophie's choice. Either way, someone was going to get hurt. I had visions of my future life with Jessica. We'd be in some charming little flat in Paris. I'd be working on my great American novel while she read the works of Victor Hugo. Occasionally, I'd look out the window at the moon coming up over the Eiffel Tower. Off in the distance, a street musician played La Vie en Rose on the accordion. We'd wander down to dinner at one of Paris's intriguing cafes in the Latin Quarter. Jessica would teach me about the Pinot Noirs and adjust my beret to the perfect angle. As we enjoyed our 4-star meal, we'd plan our next vacation to Rome. Rent, job search, credit card late payment fees, things of the past. Instead of being the guy who fixed things around the apartment, I'd hire guys to fix things around our luxurious home. My main responsibility would be to love Jessica. It didn't take a genius to see the appeal. Visions of my future life with Sarah appeared next. Earning a living would be a challenge for both of us. We'd travel and take trips, but they'd mostly be local, and if we did go abroad, our lodging and dining choices would certainly not be at the same level as those with Jessica. I could still be a writer, but the writing would have to be done at night and on weekends, wedged in around my day job to pay the bills. And yet, there was no denying that with Sarah, I'd have what I wanted even more than financial security and luxurious European trips. Non-stop, passionate, full-throttle love and laughter. And there it was. I decided that those were the things I didn't want to live without, couldn't live without. Do I have regrets these days? Honestly, yes, from time to time, especially when things get tight financially. But those regrets become short-lived when I consider Sarah's priceless laughter, love, and passion. At any income level, that's the only kind of match made in true romantic partner heaven. Cue La Vie en Rose as Sarah and I slow dance under a street light far from the Latin Quarter. Thank you.